Welcome back to Lux Lifestyle Travel Plus. On the 5th of July 2021, Jeff Bezos stunned the entire world with a $213 billion net worth and a formal resignation from Amazon as CEO. Bezos retired 7 years earlier and was 172,000 times wealthier than the typical American retiree. What was Bezos' recent target for his billions of dollars? And since he put away his Amazon gloves, what wild new things has he been doing? Also, let's find out about the pricey divorce. As strange as it may sound, Bezos' first significant outlay following retirement coincided with the end of his marriage to Mackenzie. It happened really quickly. The day after Bezos formally left his position, the legal divorce papers were made public, and Mackenzie Bezos, with whom he had been together for over 25 years, ended their relationship. There was no mention of the grounds for the divorce, but there was a story going about at the time that the Amazon billionaire had moved on to a new relationship. This report was eventually validated when he was seen numerous times with Lauren Sanchez, a former TV anchor who is now a helicopter pilot. The divorce settlement that Mackenzie received were though some substantial. Because they didn't sign a prenuptial agreement before they were married and Jeff Bezos founded Amazon after they were married, Mackenzie was legally entitled to 50% of the business. She would have had a net worth of $56 billion as a result. She became the richest lady in the world right away. This wasn't the case though. In the deal they came to, Mackenzie received 25% of Jeff's ownership shares, or 4% of the business. Mackenzie gained $38 billion thanks to the 4% investment, which was equivalent to about 20 million Amazon shares. She now ranks as the third richest woman on the planet. It undoubtedly made Bezos' pockets considerably lighter, ousting him from his $200 billion position and, in some ways, paving the way for Elon Musk to overtake him as the richest person alive. Bezos, a super yacht, a smaller yacht, and a lover. Super yachts are said to be the billionaire's watery soulmates. The majority of billionaires either actively own or actively hire personal yachts. One would assume that these billionaires consider themselves to be such because it is so typical among the 1%. There are some contemporary Jack Sparrows, Jeff Bezos included. In actuality, he has a deep affinity for mega yachts. Then, after reaching retirement and having lost a portion of his wealth to his ex, he was still able to reach inside his large pockets. The head of Amazon is presently buying a yacht with George Clooney's whole fortune. Future billionaires do these things out of love. Now that we're going down to business, I thought it was a little odd that a 417-foot yacht would require another boat for helicopter landings when ships that weren't even half its size could easily have 2 helipads. So I conducted some research and discovered that it was all about the design and had something to do with Bezos' hubris. Presumably pointless design his future megaboat was going to have. Those 3 enormous sails would have to be dealt with by anyone trying to land a helicopter on that yacht, and that, my friend, is a prescription for disaster. On the other hand, the ship has been delayed indefinitely due to the same enormous sails. They are very tall. As we speak, Bezos continues to spend money every day. This doesn't stop him from reaching into his large wallet again to spend George Clooney's fortune on something entirely different after retirement. The portfolio of properties worth $578 million. Bezos loves land and properties more than yachts, which is typical among billionaires. Bezos is a man of taste when it comes to this particular specialty. In contrast to him, Elon Musk is okay with sleeping in a $50,000 folding house. Bezos began purchasing expensive houses in the late 1990s. In 1998, Bezos paid $10 million for a 20,600 square foot 5-bedroom, 4-bathtub home on a 5.3-acre lot in Medina, Seattle, when his business was still in its infancy. The owner of the property lived close by the richest guy in the world at that time, William Gates. In 2005, Bezos invested an additional $50 million in an adjacent 8,300 square foot property with 5 bedrooms and 4 baths since he was already touching the sky. 310 feet of beachfront were shared by all the estates. Bezos has since kept spending tens of millions buying homes and lands across America. He acquired $16 million at the height of the pandemic, a 3-bedroom apartment on the 20th level of the opulent Manhattan building 212 Fifth Avenue. He had already acquired the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th floors of the same building in Washington for a total of $80 million. In the affluent Colorado suburb of Washington, he spent $23 million to purchase a disused textile museum. Later, for $5 million in January 2020, Bezos acquired a 4,800 square foot house across that museum, purely for reasons of privacy. Yet, in 2021, after retiring, Bezos purchased a $23 million apartment in a landmark building where he had previously spent $96 million on 4 different properties. Later, in a predictable ultimate boss move, Bezos bought the most expensive house in Maui, Hawaii by channeling Bruce Wayne. Bezos bought off the holding company that was the owner of the property instead of paying for the $78 million it cost to possess it. There isn't much information online about the property because it was never publicly listed, but what we do know is that it has a staggering 14 acres and numerous features including a 4,500 square foot main house and a 1,700 square foot guest house constructed in the classic Hawaiian plantation style. Before we continue, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell for more updates. Perhaps one of the most absurdly costly and absurdly inexpensive luxury things you'll ever find on the market is the mountain clock. There has to be wristwatches for a gadget that primarily serves as a timepiece. The most extraordinarily expensive products on the market sometimes are watches. Brands like Patek Philippe or Rolex can be extremely expensive and are often indicators of high wealth. That isn't exactly the case though, as Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, Gates, and Jeff Bezos all sport far less expensive timepieces or don't wear any at all. For instance, Bezos has only ever been photographed wearing a 12,000 Ulysses Norton dual time watch since he retired. Bezos has now made up for the money he didn't spend on watches by investing in an amazing still under construction project, Mountain Clock Project worth $42 million. In 2018, Bezos first had the idea for a massive clock that would be carved out of a mountain. Since then, he has hired engineers and builders to erect a gigantic multi-room clock inside a West Texas mountain. But why does this clock cost $42 million and what makes it unique? On the one hand, it is a giant 500-foot tall clock, but on the other, most items of this size typically cost $1. This mechanical clock will be powered by thermal day-night cycles and synced at solar noon. Also, the clock is made to only tick once a year and chime once every 1,000 years. Jeff Bezos is essentially creating a clock that will function as a timepiece for the next 10,000 years. He has rationalized this expensive and absorbed endeavor by saying that the clock will serve as a reminder to people that the far future is real in addition to telling time, but will occur to their offspring. Nobody is currently able to predict when the project will be finished or the clock will be put into service. I bet it will take a long time for a watch that is effectively eternal, and given that Bezos doesn't appear to be going bankrupt anytime soon, the $42 million expenditure might increase or triple if the project takes longer than expected to complete. And last, since the millionaire is building it alone, you could be out of luck if you plan to check out the clock after it is finished. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. This is Lux Lifestyle Travel Plus. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell for more updates. See you in our next video.